Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Christmas edition of
Miniature Married and Bored.
Miniature Married and
Holiday
Bored episode.
Sure.
This is why we don't say the things at the same time, because we're always on slightly different pages.
Slightly different, but that's okay. That's what makes us unique.
Well, we hope everyone's holiday is going well so far. We are well into December, and you know what? You have X amount of Christmas days.
Depends on
shopping.
how early you want to get your Christmas shopping done.
Are we done?
I think so.
Maybe 98% done,
Yeah.
unless something happens
I
and
mean,
someone's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Barring like the random, like, you know how sometimes like one pops up like, oh, the mailman. Or, oh,
The mailman. It's 1982. Gotta get the mailman a gift.
Hey, listen, our postal service workers deserve.
Oh, no, they do, except they just don't come to our house anymore. We have to go to the box.
True. Yes.
Speaking of boxes, we have a great game that we're talking about this week in our quick Fast and Furious episodes. This one is called Cat in the Box. You may even hear our Christmas cat meowing in the background. The more we say cat, I'm sure he'll just wake up and come over here. Anyways, it's Cat in the Box. It is a fun little trick-taking game. Angela, why don't you jump into it and explain what it is?
Okay. All right. So, Cat in the Box. It is quite literally a little game. It is 30 minutes long, and it is for 2 to 5 players. Keep in mind that the 2-player version is going to have some special rules. So you'll have to look those up in the back of the directions if you're doing 2-player. Basically, like Christian alluded to, it is a trick-taking game, but it is going to throw in a little quantum twist here.
Ooh.
Where you are not going to know what color or suit, if you want to say it that way, your card is until you play it.
It's just like the classic Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. You're just
Problem.
blowing your mind here. You're going to try to take tricks and put your groups of tokens into different areas on the board. And you have to plan carefully because you can't claim the color of a card with the same number that has already been declared. So that's where it gets puzzly and tricky. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So, that is probably not a great description in the sense that you just need to play it
Yeah.
to understand
I would say it's a trick-taking game with a twist.
with a twist.
If you love trick-taking games, but you're looking for something a little bit different,
Yeah.
this is definitely the game.
What do we love about it, Christian?
Well, trick-taking. Angela, you grew up playing trick-taking games in your family. You want to just explain
Absolutely.
that really quickly?
Yeah,
for those who don't.
I grew up going to bridge parties with my mom and dad. So, like, I would bring a coloring book and sit in the background.
Were your parents 86 years old when you were born?
No. But yeah, they went to bridge parties, so I learned bridge at, I think, a young age.
I remember you trying to teach me that game too, and it was a trip.
Yeah. And spades, I mean, I like all these trick-taking games. I don't know if people call it Up and Down the River. I called it Oh Hell. There's that game and Hearts.
I love Hearts. I remember learning that Hearts in junior high and was blown away at that game for some reason.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So this is another trick-taking game. It's a spin on classic. So that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Why do you like it?
I think I like the tie-in to like the real science.
Okay.
The Schrodinger's cat situation.
Yeah, the paradox.
Where you don't know what, I don't even know. All I know in my hand is the number. I don't know what suit it is until I decide what suit it is.
Yeah.
Is the cat alive or dead?
Yeah.
You don't know until you open the box.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And then with there being a lack of color purposefully in the game, it's also very colorful.
Right.
It's a paradox.
Yeah, because your cards are not colorful, but the game is colorful.
Yeah, there's pieces that are colorful, your little tokens that represent who you are and how you score points. They're all little bright and vibrant that look great against black, which a lot of the game is. And so, like, it's a weird paradox of, like, color and no color.
Yeah. And I think I forgot to say, I like that it's thinky, it's strategy.
Yeah, of the games we've talked about so far in our Christmas episodes, like, this one probably is at the tops.
Yep.
In terms of strategy, followed pretty closely by maybe Radlands.
Okay, yeah.
And the other ones are pretty cash, but this one definitely, of all the ones we've talked about right now, this was at the top.
Yeah. You already alluded to it being for people who like classic trick-taking games.
Oh, yeah.
You also think that it's for me, which is true.
I did. I wrote that in the notes. That's for Angela. For two reasons. Cats.
Yeah.
You grew up with a few of those.
Yes, I did.
And trick-taking.
That's right.
And you grew up with that.
As well.
Yep.
The box is super small, but I would say that I was expecting a different type of game based on what the box looked like. The box makes it look more cutesy and casual than I think.
Like all the cards have cats on it, and you try to match your cats.
Not that it's not casual, it's just way more strategic than I thought by looking at the box.
There's a lot going on in this small little box,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, you probably don't want to bring this to people who haven't played games in general. But I would say you could bring it to someone who's played card games, even if they haven't played modern board games.
Yeah, so an example, if you know somebody who has The Crew, which is a great trick-taking game that has been released in the past couple years. There's two of them, two versions. And you know that they don't have this. This is a great game to go alongside The Crew.
Perfect.
Same mechanics with a twist.
Love it. You can find it not very many places, guys. We're sorry.
Yeah, so the deal is with this game again, there's a theme with all these games. Like, there was a Gen Con pickup for me, so I got it a little early.
Yep.
I think it's now kind of slowly rolling out to some local game stores. We admittedly haven't seen it at ours.
We have not.
If you're lucky enough to snag one on Amazon, you might be able to do that. It does say on the, and I might be saying this wrong, Bezier or Bezier website. That's the publisher, the same guys who do like One Night Werewolf. That the first printing is sold out, so they're looking to get another round of prints shipped in Q1 of 2023.
But if this sounds like the perfect game for someone on your list or yourself, and you want it before the new year, then I would say check eBay,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
check Amazon.
I personally wouldn't pay a ton of money for it. I wouldn't pay. It's a $30 game.
Yeah,
Easily. I don't know if I would pay much more than that, knowing what I know.
yes.
But if you have a friend who has it, check it out. Come to our house, check it out. I will say that with us having only played it 2 players, the 2-player experience is probably not the full Cat in the Box experience.
Correct.
I find it just slightly lacking. I can only imagine adding a third or fourth would open up that strategy that you love
Yeah.
even more.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because the 2-player rules, there's some special things that basically, like, you do something that you take out something that the
And there's a betting component too.
Right.
Like if you play trick-taking games like Hearts, you're like, well, I think I can get all the hearts and then I'll get the queen and get like you take that risk.
Yeah.
In this game, you kind of say like, well, I'll get 5 tricks.
Right.
Based on only the numbers, not the color. Like, and so like if you match your bet, you get bonus points.
Which is not present in the 2-player game.
It's not present. So there's another layer of strategy once you go beyond 2. So if you're strictly 2, this is maybe one of the only games where we might say, wait.
Yeah.
But
Hold on.
if you have a ton of players in your up to 5 in your group
not a
that
ton.
love these trick taking games like The Crew, definitely give this one a look.
Yeah. Agreed. Now, at the end of the show, we like to throw in something a little fun, not board game related. So, Is it your turn?
It's my turn to think of a Christmas question.
I have one in mind.
Okay, I am actually drawing a little bit of a blank because we've talked about food already.
Yep.
We've talked about songs, which are the two most important things in my life, food and songs.
Sure.
And movies.
Understandably.
Did we do movie? We did movies, songs, and
movies.
food. That's what we've done. So, all right, hit me with another one.
Okay. What is one Christmas tradition that you either grew up with or started implementing as an adult that you like?
Enjoy.
Yeah.
I think for my family, and this is a Midwest thing, we always opened our presents on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And that was from moving from Minnesota to Arizona when I was 6. Everyone was just like, "What are you doing? Why?
Yeah.
We just have dinner and go to bed." And I was just like, "No,
You open the presents.
because you open the presents from your family Christmas Eve. Santa comes Christmas Eve night,
Yeah.
and then he leaves more presents.
Yeah.
And so it's like family presents and then Santa presents.
Yep.
That's kind of what we did. And so we've just kind of done that in our family.
Yeah.
And it's not really like a tradition I started. It's not like we all walk around the neighborhood and look at Christmas lights, which we have done
Yeah.
now that I say that, but it's not like a classic. It's more like what I grew up doing and I'll continue to do.
I'd say that's a tradition
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I won't take that. I was the same, like
Sure.
my family grew up doing the same thing. So there was no marriage compromise that had to happen on that
That was
one.
pretty easy. I'm sure that's happened before, but that was an easy one for us. We're like,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Santa comes. Duh.
Yeah. I will say we go through 2 certain neighborhoods near us that we drive through and watch Christmas lights. One of them is the whole block on both sides of the street has Christmas lights to music, and you
Oh,
And
Comstock.
yeah, and you tune your radio to a certain station, and you can hear the music, and the Christmas lights go at the same time. So you can drive through it in your car, or you can park and walk, and experience it that way. And then we have another neighborhood that doesn't have it tuned to music, but there's just tons. It's like the whole neighborhood has decided to dress up for Christmas, and so I like all the lights and. Yeah, I think there was like a blue Hanukkah house last time.
Yeah, there's a lot more in the neighborhood you're talking about
Yeah.
than the first one. The first
Right.
one is so many lights in a short amount of time.
Right.
One little street, not even a block. It's just like somebody's neighborhood street.
Yeah.
So maybe like I want to say 24 houses.
Right.
But then the other neighborhood is like
It's
not-
a neighborhood.
It's a whole neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
and they
fun.
they all have, agreed to participate. So it's really fun. There was like a Grinch house last time that had like 5 Grinches. We were like, oh, do you see it? How many Grinches do you see?
There was a lot.
And that one you can drive around like of your own free will. The other one is more regulated. Like,
Yeah, it's like you go in this place and out over here
yeah.
and don't stop.
Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to those things this year because we haven't done them yet and we need to get on it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's our tradition. We'd love to know if you have a holiday tradition, something that you either grew up with or you have started for yourself. Let us know.
Yeah, and Cat in the Box, again, it's a great game for those who love the classic card games and are anyone who might be looking for a little bit of a thinker's game.